Oh my god, Magic the Gathering's YouTube channel have just uploaded a new Dominaria United trailer. I've got to check this out.
Long live the king.
Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic. Now the spoilers for Dominaria United have come at us hard and fast.
Phrasing?
So I thought we'd look at the big cards previewed in this set so far, talk through them and give our honest opinions. And first off, of course, we're going to start with Ajani, Sleeper Agent. This newly completed Planeswalker has +1 to reveal the top card of your library, putting that card in your hand if it's a creature or Planeswalker. The +3 says to distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 target creatures, gaining them vigilance until end of turn. And that ult -6 gives you an emblem with, whenever you cast a creature or Planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. First Tamiyo being completed in Neon Dynasty, and now Ajani, it just gets worse and worse. I'll try not to reveal too many spoilers about the lore for this set, but it looks so good. It's something myself that I've been getting into more set after set after set, and I'm glad that after the War of the Spark lull, they're starting to slowly bring it back. And going back to Ajani now, I think it was around about the Throne of Eldraine era where collector boosters came out, and that meant more varieties of all of these cards. And for this set, there are 5 different Ajani cards, which I don't know if that is a collector's dream or a collector's nightmare. Now the card itself does look like a fairly balanced card, one that I can see slotting it into any creature-loving commander decks. Or if you're confident of it getting to that ult, putting it in any proliferating or poison-loving decks would be so good, so fun, it would be devilishly disgusting. Next on up, we're looking at Sheoldred the Apocalypse. This Phyrexian Death Touchy Praetor says whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life, and whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Continuing the theme of the last 12 months, we have another new set where yet another returning Praetor is involved. I will put my money on Elish Norn being involved in the Brothers' War. Compared to the first Sheoldred, originally from New Phyrexia, I'm a big fan of this card. With it being a very fair mana value to cast, it not only makes it a fun commander, but also just a good card to play in general, especially in decks that put the emphasis on card draw. This set looks like it'll have triple the Sheoldred, also with the super rare Phyrexian version and those flashy borderless cards. You love to see it. And speaking of things you love to see, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe down below for all things MTG. I'm on a personal mission to make sure that I have more subscribers than Prickly Marmoset cards, and I've got far too many more than this in the next room, and I need help. Now let's quickly sprint through all those reprints of the Painlands, all receiving a new art treatment and a much needed reprint. Although they have been reprinted recently in Commander sets, these are underappreciated staples, so the more they're reprinted, the more the value of these cards will get lower and lower. All of these Painlands have been given that borderless frame treatment too, which are visually stunning. And of course, with these being rares, these are cards I'm expecting to crack a fair few of when the set comes out at the start of September. So when this set got spoiled, it was confirmed there are going to be loads and loads of returning characters. So let's look at them now. First, with Braids, Arisen Nightmare. She says at the beginning of your end step, you may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sack a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. Having now been resurrected, this is the 3rd incarnation of the Braids cards we've seen in MTG, and one that hopefully isn't another that will get hit by the Commander Banhammer. Now this card is like they've taken the previously banned Cabal minion and fixed it, retooled it and made it a bit better, or a bit less broken. Giving your opponent an out for that sack option is key. If they do it, they lose a piece of their board, and if they don't, you draw a card and they lose life. Another new card that I've seen, and another one that I'm very impressed with, and I think we'll get some playability in various different formats. Next up, we're looking at Joyra, Ageless Innovator. This near immortal artificer lets you tap to put 2 ingenuity counters on her. Then you may put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the field, where X is the number of ingenuity counters on Joyra. Another returning MTG legend, previously having 2 alternate versions that have seen a few reprints between them, so it's nice to have a new Joyra in Dominaria United. I think for myself, mainly making budget brews, I see cards like this and think, I can make a fun deck out of this. So far, seeing a lot of cool new commander options and ones that are very fun. The card also, again, has what I think is a very fair to play mana value. So yeah, maybe I will make a budget deck tech on this one soon. This set has also reprinted Liliana of the Veil, originally printed in Innistrad. +1 draws a card, -2 sacks a creature, and -6 says separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. That player sacks all permanents in the pile of their choice. Same old here, but at least there's a new fancy borderless art version. I'm really sad at this next one. They've really done this guy dirty. Of course, we're talking about Karn Living Legacy. Its -1 creates a tapped Power Stone token. The -1 allows you to pay any amount of mana, look at that many cards from the top of your library, then put one of those cards in your hand. The ultimate, yes, this Planeswalker's ultimate, gets you an emblem that says tap an artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. When you've had previous cards like Karn Liberated that can exile cards or even completely restart the game, then this is a card that has had the biggest fall from grace. But if you are following the lore, then there is a pretty clear reason for that. #SaveCam. Now, speaking of people that have had it bad in Dominaria United, next up is Jaya, Fieri Negotiator. Her +1 creates a monk token with prowess. -1 exiles the top 2 cards of your library. You can play one of them this turn. -2 to choose a creature an opponent controls. When you attack this turn, Jaya deals damage equals the number of attacking creatures to that creature. The -8 says whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copy. Now, on face value, this is a really cool new card with 3 options to use straight away from cast. It's just a shame this may be the last time we ever see a Jaya card. Okay, I thought that would be funny, but I've just ended up getting my carpet wet, so who's laughing now? Okay, so to finish up, we're ending with a speed round where we're going to look at only new legendary cards that have been spawned so far. We'll talk about them, I'll give my hot take, and we'll all go home happy. First up is Rhona, Sheoldred's Faithful. This card says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, each opponent loses 1 life. You may cast Rhona from the graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other cost. Really cool card. I'm a fan of cards that allow you to cast commanders from the graveyard. If it was an Izzet with all that instant and sorceryness, I think it'd be a lot more broken, so I'm a fan. Solid B- to start. Next we have Ivy, Gleeful, Spell Thief. A flying fairy rogue that says whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. So this is a super cheap card to cast. It runs Simic, which is a naturally strong colour combo. And it already looks like it'll work so well with Mutate. Mutate a creature, that triggers Ivy. Ivy then gets mutated, double mutate. That is just going to be so fun. And being the biggest fan of Ikoria, I'm already really excited for this card. So this gets a solid A-. For the next card, we have King Darion Roman numerals. Darion gives other creatures you control +1/+1. You can pay 5 to put a 1/1 counter on Darion and create a soldier token. And you can sack Darion to give your creature tokens hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Another solid card here. Now, white-green usually force you to go straight into tribes, like humans, soldiers, things like that. So the fact that this gives a big option, just giving +1/+1 to creatures, is cool. Plus, you have that heroic intervention sack type effect whenever you need to use it. So, another good card. I'll say solid B here. For the next card, we have Aaron, Benalia's Ruin. This card has Menace, and you can pay and tap to sack a creature, putting a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Very solid, par for the course commander here. Nothing really to write home about. I am looking forward more myself to see ways that this card can get broken. C+. So next we're going to look at Aaron's daughter, danethe, Benalia's Hope. She has First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, and when she ETBs, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the field attached to danethe. For equipment-loving players, this is another solid option, either to run as a commander, or it's just a perfect card to be the 99 in any Selesnya or Bant commander cards. I'll say a very respectable B for danethe. For the penultimate card we're looking at, there's Tatiova in Steward of Tides. She says land creatures you control have flying. Whenever a land ETBs under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental with haste. It's still a land. Now for Tatiova, Benthic Druid is the OG and the supremely better card. And myself, as a Magic player, I'm just not into land creatures at all. So for me, Tatiova's getting the D.
Oh, I apologize for the double entendre.
Lastly, we're going to look at a legendary artifact in Khan's Silex. The ETB's tapped. Players can't pay life to cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. You can pay X and tap, exiling Khan's Silex to destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less, activating only as a sorcery. I mean, this is a cool artifact, it's a good card. I can't see it becoming a staple in any format. I'm glad to see Khan get a little bit more love in another card. But what the hell is a Silex? C- for this bad boy. So my thoughts so far on the spoilers is that this is looking really strong. A lot of really cool new cards, really interesting returning cards, and the lore is looking spicy and it looks like it's finally building up to something big that we haven't really seen since War of the Spark. Now for myself personally, I've been very disappointed in the last few sets. Well, probably except for Neon Dynasty. So I'm really happy to have a lot of hype for a new set coming back out. And they managed to go the entire month of August without releasing a new product. My wallet is so happy. Now here, I really only just started to scratch the surface of the cards that have been spoiled so far. There are plenty more left, so if you want to see me go through even more, then let me know in the comments below. There we have it, that is the Dominaria United spoilers. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe down below for all things MTG. Check out our link tree in the description box below for all of our social media and affiliate links. For now though, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next video.